when you find how you want to play the game, you will like everyone will be on the same page, and when everyone is on the same page, you are a very strong team. I think we kind of struggled with it past 2 weeks to be on the same page, which is something we're working on right now.
Hi everyone, it's Tom reporting from the LEC Spring Split, and with me here is Larssen, the mid laner of Broke, who just defeated Schalke 04 in the lower bracket of the playoffs and advanced to the final weekend. Larssen, that series, I guess, was for some people maybe a bit more one-sided than anticipated, looking at how Schalke performed, and also looking maybe how you guys performed against Mad Lions. Did you expect it to be as one-sided as it ended up being?
Usually I expect us to 3-0 Schalke, I think.
Ooh.
Like if we play to our level, we will always 3-0 them, I think. But I think past 2 weeks we haven't played to our level. I think people have seen that we have struggled a bit playing as a team. And I think last week it was the first time on stage, so I think people were a bit too stressed in the gameplay. I think this week was a lot better, and we had a lot of focus on it to just be calm and play as a team way more. But we also had a very rough week after Mad Series in scrims and as a team, I think. So I was not as confident as I should be, and I usually am against Schalke because it should be easy. I think we should be able to win against any team. But I was still confident that we'll win, yeah.
Yeah, so talking a bit more about those issues that you mentioned, because I think it's very interesting to hear what went wrong and especially why it's better now. So what went wrong in the team dynamics then? Was it you guys just getting nervous for, okay, we're really in the playoffs and we haven't been looking good, so we really must perform? Or does the stage really impact you or maybe other people in your teammates?
I mean, it definitely impacted us against Mad, that's for sure, because it was our first time. And for me personally, I felt very good. I think feels like home to be on stage, honestly. It feels nicer to play on stage than from office. I feel more comfortable at studio and less nervous. It just feels like home to be here. So it's very nice. But as a team, I think we played way too stressed and not like the macro game we usually play. We were looking for like just fights, because when you play on stage, I think a lot of teams had the same. People are a bit more stressed, I feel like, and just look for fights when you shouldn't. So, because like the most unskilled thing is just to fight. It's just like, oh, look, this guy, maybe we can fight. But it's like more skilled to just be calm and play the macro game red, I think.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's the rogue style, so yes.
I mean, it's way more skilled than just looking for fights, which is what we kind of did against Mad. We were not playing the game we usually do. So that was like a big focus this week, just be more calm and play for the map. Yeah. Which I think we did better this week. It was still not like the best performance from us. We still did quite a lot of mistakes. And as I said, we had a rough week in scrims. So we still have a lot to improve on. But I mean, we're like, if we play to our standard, we can win against both G2 and Mad. Like, I'm very confident of it. And so it's just up to next week and to have a good practice week, and then
we specifically saw, I think, the most controlled game from you guys was game 1, where I think up until the very last moment there were maybe 6 kills across the entire board and then 1 team fight.
It was a very nice game,
yeah, that settled everything. Still at 26 minutes, so in terms of game time it was incredibly fast. But was it for you guys really that focus to go back to those basics for you guys, as in, this is how we know how to play, this is how we want to play, let's hammer that down for this weekend?
Yeah, we lost a bit of the fundamentals we had during the split. We kind of lost it like during the split, ending the split, and now we kind of just freestyling a lot in game and not really like playing as a team, and all the like fundamentals of the game we kind of lost a bit. So that was like big focus that we talked about of how to like come back and start playing better again.
And do you feel that this was much better this series, or like one step and you need to step it up?
I mean, it's a step in the right direction, but if we want to beat G2 and Mad, I think we still need to step up more for sure.
Yeah,
at least against Mad we need to step up a lot more. Against G2, they're not as strong anymore, I think. So, but we need to step up a lot for next week anyway.
Yeah, I do want to touch on something that Rogue has traditionally received some criticism for, and that is in general that, hey, they only know how to play one thing. And I think criticism you guys received in the series against Mad Lions is also that you guys didn't adapt enough to what they were playing or how they wanted to play. This series as well, we saw that controlled approach. Do you think that it's necessary for you guys to be able to also pivot and play these other styles when you're facing the likes of G2 and Mad Lions potentially?
I mean, we definitely don't mind fighting, you know. We have shown that when we can take good fights, we will take them.
Mm-hmm.
We will always take the good fight.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just very important to not like take the bad fights. And so it's our style to play a bit more macro, and it's also the kind of correct style. I think like all LEC and pet team have like a really good macro, and they fight when they're really smart about fighting. I think same again for G2 and Mad. I think they're very smart as well. When to fight and how to play macro. So I think it's just normal style to play.
Okay, yeah. And what about the champion pool diversity? That's also something I think. Well, you haven't played super many different champions during the split. I think this also was this the first Tristana you played in the spring split in general? Is that something you guys think you need to scrape out a bit more and change up there, or are you guys just very comfortable and confident in what you know how to play?
I think it's very important to play comfort as well at this stage. But it's always important to have like some spicy picks. I don't know, like Schalke had like the Nocturne top, which was quite terrifying that game.
Yeah.
So it's like important to have like not a big champion pool, but to have like decent enough where you can like get some very strong picks in specific games. But I don't think champion pool is. I mean, it's not an issue for sure for us. Champion pools. I think we have good champion pools. It's just about how we play.
Yeah. That is something I was thinking of as well. That Nocturne top pick. I was wondering, you guys have something similar as like a backup plan, or you didn't really need it against Schalke here because you weren't put to game 5, but that is something you can whip out against the likes of G2, who are known to try to spice things up as well.
Yeah, I mean, we always play our game. I mean, don't think G2 are that spicy. I mean, I guess they play some spicy stuff sometimes, but like the Karma bot, I guess, and stuff.
Yeah.
Even though that didn't work out, maybe they won't play it next week. We'll see. I don't know. I don't think the champion pool is like any importance for next week.
Okay. Now, you mentioned before that you think G2 hasn't looked as good as before, and they have obviously struggled against Schalke no Fear, and they were pretty dominantly beaten by Mad Lions in this weekend as well. So, what do you think is? I don't know. You obviously don't have insider information, but why do they feel worse to you? What is your perspective on them performing?
Maybe it's just that we became better and other teams become better, but I'm not sure why they feel worse. They just feel worse like during the whole split, in practice at least. They played very well on stage. I mean, during official games, like during the split, right? They had the same wins as us. But during practice, whole split, I felt like they were weaker than normal. So I felt like they were a bit lucky maybe in the official games. Like, I feel like we underperformed when we played against them. Otherwise, we would win, I think. And it kind of showed in playoffs now that they're not as strong as they usually were. So it'll be interesting to see how they adapt to next week, because they also went through a loss, right? And going through a loss, you usually discuss a lot of things in the team. So it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back from it. They probably bounce back stronger because it's G2. They usually bounce back very strong from defeats. And yeah, we just need to do the same. And even though we didn't lose today, we still need to keep improving a lot for next week. And,
yeah. You mentioned that this week you had a tough scrim result. Well, at least it didn't really translate to your on-stage performance. But heading into that final week, obviously you're also gonna be scrimming a lot. I don't know. You obviously cannot scrim G2 because you're playing them. You probably can't scrim Mad Lions either because you might end up facing them. So
that should be interesting. Yeah, I have no clue how it's gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you were in the top 3 last summer. So what did you guys do then? Play against ERL teams? TCL
I don't remember. Actually, I think we played against the finalist last year in scrims.
Against Fnatic?
Yeah, I think both G2 and us last year, because it's kind of similar. I think both G2 and us met at the same stage last year, right? I think we were both scrimming Fnatic at that time, like two scrims each. So I guess it might be the same thing now. because I think everyone wants to scrim and improve, right? So I guess kind of a deal for Med because they will have maybe scrims every day since they will scrim either us or G2. But I'm not exactly sure it's gonna work. But if I remember correctly, I think it's like that.
All right. Well, because you talk about the finalists, I also do want to touch finally on Mad Lions, who have looked super good, and especially compared to their regular split performance, where they seemed a bit shaky sometimes, a bit coin flippy in terms of their Med results. So, suddenly they're performing super well. What do you think is going well for them in these playoffs?
I guess they got a stage buff, even though people were saying like the opposite, that they would get a stage debuff, but it feels like they definitely got a stage buff, and also in scrims they have improved a lot, I think. So I guess they just like found how they want to play the game now, because usually like that, when you find how you want to play the game, you will like everyone will be on the same page, and when everyone is on the same page, you are a very strong team. I think we kind of struggled with it past 2 weeks to be on the same page, which is something we're working on right now. And we had a discussion about for a few days ago how we need to improve. So I think they just found how they want to play, and they're all on the same page, which is very broken. Like, I mean, you can see Fnatic, they're never on the same page really. They kind of playing as individuals, and when play as individuals, you're not going to be a good team. It's you can have very good individuals, but if you don't play as a team, then you will just be bad.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I kind of forgot the question, but
yeah. What do you think about Mad Lions and why they've suddenly been improving so well? But you answered it. Don't worry. So assuming that you guys are gonna step it up next week against G2, as you obviously hope to do, I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit. Do you think you guys can dominantly defeat G2, or is it gonna be a nail biter or a coin flip?
If we find our ways, I'm confident that we can beat them quite confidently. But if we don't find the teamwork and how we want to play as much during the week, then it will be a close series, I think, yeah. But it will definitely, it can go either way, I think. But I'm very confident that if we find how we want to play, then we can definitely have very good chances of beating them.
And what about a potential rematch against Mad Lions, who did defeat you 3-1?
Yeah, but at the same time, we kind of should have went to Game 5, and we weren't playing well in that series. We weren't. It was very stressed gameplay. First play calm, and also the Game 4 was 8k gold ahead, I think. And Inferno Soul, I don't know how we lost. It was like really impressive by us to lose that game. So, yeah, I mean, I'm confident against every team.
Okay.
It's all on us. It's all on us, I think.
All right, Larssen. Thank you so much for joining me today. Is there finally something you'd like to say to the fans for Rogue who have to support and cheer loudly for you next week as well?
It's also hard to these questions, but
can you say thanks for supporting us or something?
Yeah, but that's like so boring answer, right? But thank you for supporting us, right?
Wow, so original. Wow,
we were very good during the regular split, but if we find our ways, I think we'll have the same performance again. So that's the goal.
Okay, Larssen. Thank you so much, and congrats again on the win.
Thank you.